It's the semifinals for season 12 of The Masked Singer, and for the first time ever, there's only three panelists. Rita Ora is ill, so we just have the core three that go back to the beginning of the series, Jenny, Robin, and Ken. And by the end of the night, only two contestants will remain and move on to next week's big finale. Let's talk The Masked Singer. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my recap and reaction video for the Masked Singer semifinals. We've got the Wasp, the Buffaloes, and the Strawberry Shortcake all competing for just 2 slots in the finals. So we'll talk about all this here momentarily. But first, let me welcome you back to the channel. I know a lot of you are my subscribers already that watch these Masked Singer videos, and I certainly appreciate that. But if you're not, please do consider subscribing here. I have not just Masked Singer content on my channel, but a lot of movie and TV stuff. I try to post something just about every day. So there's always a lot of stuff to check out here, not just in the Masked universe, because of course we're winding down this season. So think about subscribing, click that notification bell, and just like and comment this video. That helps as well. And for the comments, always love hearing from the Masked Singer viewers, because we've come through this season together. As always, at the beginning of this season, I didn't even know some of these names, and they have been under the mask. Bronson Arroyo, for example, never heard of him. Jana Kramer was another one. So we've been through it, and with the comments, I certainly help shape my thoughts on who might be under these masks. So definitely comment. But all right, like I mentioned, Rita Ora gone from the episode tonight. She is under the weather. So we've just got Robin, Jenny, and Ken, and of course Nick Cannon. So the core people, that have been on every episode, I think. Do we have maybe one episode without Ken? Yeah, maybe we've had 3 panelists before, but in any event, not for something this big, not for the semifinals, I don't think, right? And so we've got Some Nights from Fun is what the panel is coming out and singing together, and boy, all the harmonizing, all the vocal runs, it is nice. I like when actors who have great voices are in, the finals or the semifinals. But it is nice to have some professional singers just all kind of riffing together and stuff. It just sounds great. And that's a fun tune anyway. So literally, it's by the band Fun, but but it's a fun time to hear that tune, and to see them all singing it together was great. All right, so let's see. So first up is the Strawberry Shortcake, and that is who is going home. So we'll start right away with the person getting eliminated, and then we'll move on to the other contestants. But in her original clue package here, she says, like a cake, Hollywood is also layered. There's so much pressure to make it big, and it comes with rejections and self-doubt, and you put your whole heart into something that people might not ever see, and it's so disenchanting. That happened to me. So I was so triggered by the drama of early fame, I took a long break so I would love what I do again. This show is fun, silly, and so am I. All right, and she sang Lose You to Love Me by Selena Gomez, which, sort of the idea of losing that Hollywood mystique to find her love of music again. So I get that. Very appropriate song. And again, just like last week, there's no rules with these songs. They sang whatever they wanted, something that they, I guess, felt a connection with or whatever. And I think because of her clue package, that definitely makes sense that she would sing that. And then after the song, we got sort of 2 clues. One more of an interview question by Nick about their experience or whatever. And then another, an actual clue, which was a gift, Taylor Swift style, of a bracelet that was designated to one of the panelists. And it would say something. So hers, first she said, she learned from this show that I'm resilient and strong. So I'm glad I came back to the industry to prove myself on the show. And her bracelet gift was for Ken, and it said press tour. She said, one of the highlights of my career was our press tour together. We laughed so much. All right, so the guesses from the panel differed a little bit from the final, but I will say that, so the The Wasp is sailing forward. So we're going to go over the Wasp last because he was the final performer, but he is moving forward immediately to the finals. But the Buffaloes and Strawberry Shortcake had to duke it out in what they called the Smack Royale. So part SmackDown, part Battle Royale. So they sang the same song but traded back and forth. And talk about sharing harmonies and just doing these runs and these riffs. Oh my God, talk about professional singers here doing this. They did Counting Stars by One Republic, and just the duet dynamic between the Buffaloes and Strawberry Shortcake, fantastic. So, all right, the guesses originally from the panel were Joey King, Sarah Hyland, and Lucy Hale, but they changed a little bit. So Robin was the one who changed. He kind of went back and forth on some different people, but he settled on Kelsey Ballerini because of some of the clues that they had seen. Jenny, the first time we've heard Sarah Hyland's name this season was today. Now, we've heard that name before in previous seasons, and in fact, I think I guessed Sarah Hyland as a first impression guess for, I mean, it was a while ago, maybe season 6 or 7 or something, but Modern Family had like just ended, so I thought, okay, still, wanted to be doing something in the business, kind of like Blackish. Like Anthony Anderson was on this show right after Blackish ended. So I thought maybe Sarah Hyland, but it was not her, but she can sing. And so for the first time this season, she was guessed, this time by Jenny. And then Ken, Joey King, this was the first time, or the first episode that she had been mentioned as well. Ken talked about her after he got his bracelet that said Press Tour. He said that, she grew up on the Sweet Love of Zack and Cody and this and that and the other thing. Or maybe he's the one that said Lucy Hale. I don't know. Somebody said Joey King and somebody said Lucy Hale. But in any event, Ken has done a lot of press tours for The Hangover and also for Dr. Ken, which is who I think this person is doing the press tour with, because she was on The Goldbergs. She was on Schooled, both of which were on ABC. And Ken's show, Dr. Ken, ran, I think, 2 seasons on ABC. So he did a lot of ABC and Disney press tours. So we see the Disney mouse ears and some of these clues. And also, I've mentioned that this person that I believe is under the mask started on Hollywood Records, which was owned by Disney, her and her sister. And, people are forgetting with these, Joey King, Sarah Hyland, people are forgetting the clue package about, being with the group and, her sister being that celebrity call and the masked ambassador. This was, for me, the biggest clue of it all from week 1. Haley Aranthia was the masked ambassador for Strawberry Shortcake, leading me to say, right from week 1, that this was AJ Michalka from AJ and Allie. And I still believe that she is under the mask. Nobody has mentioned her this entire season on the panel. So, this is a Dan original here. I know online, maybe some other people are saying it, but from that first week, I was very confident that this was AJ Michalka, and nothing has really wavered me from that position. All the clues have led us in that direction. So let's go to the Take It Off here, if my video will play, and we'll see. But I really believe, I mean, is she not big enough for the show? People are going to know her. Yeah, people certainly recognize her face. And they know Allie and AJ. And Ken, of course, remembers, right, from the press tour. Jenny shocked. And look, we know she could sing because she had pop hits in the early 2000s. Long time ago, though. Oh, wait, let me pause for a second. Yes, hold on. They did say, actually before the vote, they said that all 3 do have connections to Nick. So Nick just said something about how when he met her, she was very, very little, and it was a long time ago, and she was like, yeah, I was young or whatever. So they all 3 do have connections to Nick, which makes sense. Mario, I'm sure, was on Wild and Out or something at some point. That's who I think the Wasp is, and Boys to Men, Buffaloes. I don't know, but look, Nick knows everybody. So all right, so let me go back here and just watch a couple more seconds of this. But yeah, they both had a show on the air at the same time.
My sitcom, Dr. Ken, AJ was on the Goldbergs with Haley Aranthia, also from the Goldbergs,
The
and
ambassador.
I totally remember doing the presser together.
Oh, my God.
Much love to you, and incredible.
That's nice.
Job.
Yeah, boy, what a singer.
Thank you.
I know her more from the TV stuff because I love the Goldbergs.
Feel something real with your performances. What made you do the Masked Singer?
I had never really sang on my own. I've been in a band
Right.
with my sister for years.
She did the AJ and Allie
We took
thing.
a really long break from music. We've now come back since 2017. We were making a new album right
Oh.
now.
Didn't know that.
I've never done
Okay.
anything on my own like this, so I just wanted to challenge myself. My sister just had a baby, so I was like, I'm doing this for her and her son.
So that was Allie who called in on the phone.
That was my
Yeah.
sister, Allie.
All right, that's awesome. Well, we figured that, but that's really cool. Look, I'm a fan of the Goldbergs, and I thought Schooled was good too. That only lasted, I think, 2 seasons on ABC, but yeah, I didn't realize AJ and Allie were returning to the scene. But yeah, I mean, they started very young. I mean, it had to be 2000, maybe 2 or 3. So we're talking 20 years ago. She was probably 16, 17, something like that. So no, that's awesome. Look, I'm a little bit bummed we're not having a male versus a female in the finals, but I'm excited that we've got our first group in the finals ever with the Buffaloes. So I'm excited about that. Let's talk here about the Buffaloes and the Wasp real quick. The Buffaloes said, we are no strangers to working hard. Coming up, we're constantly told to be someone else and that we'd never make it, but being true to ourselves gave us our success. So we've inspired the next generation with that advice, especially our children, and they sound better than us. So maybe we have a miniature Boys to Men starting out somewhere. And the song they did was Africa by Toto, a lot of fun. And their post-song interview with Nick, they said, we're glad we're doing this. One of them says, these are my brothers and the best friends I've ever had. So that's awesome. And the gift was for Jenny, and it said Donnie on it, the bracelet. And she said, we go way back with Donnie and with Jenny. And I've mentioned this on this show before with my connection with Boyz II Men. I saw them at a mixtape festival, which New Kids on the Block, headlines that every year. And, 98 Degrees was there, which is the Nick Lachey, kind of connection. He was their masked ambassador. But Paul Abdul was there. But the year I went, Boyz II Men was there too. And, so obviously Boyz II Men and New Kids, were not quite at the same time. Like, New Kids were like 88 to about 90, 91, and then really started dipping once, grunge came in, hip hop. The pop scene was not quite as popular. But the R&B scene was still thriving, so Boyz II Men really started coming up about 91, 92. So, but obviously, being in the boy band industry, they've known each other a long, long time. So that certainly makes sense. So Jenny said, look, this has got to be Boyz II Men. I can't think of anybody else. Ken had a horrible guess with Color Me Bad. Look, I mean, do people even know who that is anymore? They sang I Want to Sex You Up. That was a big hit in around that era. I mean, 92, 93 probably. And then Robin thought this could be After 7. Babyface called in last week to wish them luck. And I didn't realize this until Robin said it, but one of the members of After 7 is Babyface's brother. And apparently past members include several siblings of Babyface. After 7, I think you're probably even less remembered than Color Me Bad, but they had a few minor hits in 1990. Can't Stop was one of them. Heat of the Moment was one of them. So anyway, it's not After 7. Look, I've been saying this one as well since the first week. This is Boyz II Men. All of these in the semifinals are my first impressions. So I still believe this is Boyz II Men. But anyway, they went up against, like I said, the Strawberry Shortcake in the Smack Royale, and it did a great job. Nick did say, by the way, that for the first and second place contestants, this was the thinnest margin ever, less than 1% difference in the margin of who is moving forward immediately to the finals, which was the Wasp, and who is going to be in the Smack Royale. So, I mean, look, all of these people are worthy of the finale. But let's move on to the Wasp. He said, I haven't had this much of a competitive edge since I was a kid. My mom knew there would only be so many opportunities to get out of the hood. So she signed me up for a talent show. I tapped into a fire there and won the whole thing. And there was an industry exec in the audience, and I got signed on the spot. and he sang Beautiful Things by Benson Boone. Nick asked him about his appearance on The Masked Singer, and he said, never forget to keep dreaming. You can always get up and fly again. So good advice there. But yeah, I mean, he's been out of the biz for a little while, at least, you know, making hits. He's probably still making records and making music. And his gift was to Robin, which said Nashville, and he said, we had such a good time painting the town in Nashville. So he said, look, I don't remember a lot of things. You know, that was sort of half joking, blacked out, whatever. But he was like, I don't remember a ton of things, but this might be Anthony Ramos from In the Heights, which, look, we know he can sing from In the Heights. It's not a terrible guess. And he was in Hamilton, not originally, but he was in one of the productions of Hamilton. Jason Derulo was Jenny's guest, and then Usher is who Ken thought. Nobody said Mario this week, but Rita has said Mario in the last couple of episodes featuring the Wasp, so we know that name is out there, and that's who I believe it is. That was my first impression guess. So it looks like we're going to have, if I'm right, it looks like it's going to be Mario versus Boys to Men in the finale. We've never had a group win, let alone be in the finale. So I don't know. I mean, that could certainly be fun. But to be honest, I think, I mean, and the margin was close if it was, you know, less than 1%, if that's true. You know, obviously these guys are both fan favorites, but I would say I lean more towards the Wasp winning. But it would be fun to see a group win. So maybe it will be Boys to Men. That would be awesome. You know, Philly guy here. So, you know, love for Philly, but I don't know. I think, Boys to Men has certainly shown that they can get down. You know, I think, typically they're known for their ballads, End of the Road, It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday, One Sweet Day, you know, some of their Christmas stuff. But, you know, let's keep in mind that their first hit single was Motown Philly, which was a really up-tempo number. And so I think they've tapped back into that a little bit here. And maybe that's throwing some people off, you know, because they are more known for their ballads. But it's definitely Boys to Men. And we'll see. My guess right now would be the Wasp to win it all. But I would be very, very happy with either of these acts taking the crown. So we will see. Next week is the finale, and join me for that. And check out some of my other videos in the meantime. But thank you so much for watching Dan Reviews It. I'll see you then. Bye.